no reason to think he's detected any wrongdoing involving Jeffrey Epstein. You noted, you're a prosecutor, you're a lawyer here, there's this defamation.
I would say we have lots of reasons to think he was involved in wrongdoing.
Look, I don't know about you, but I'm getting very tired. Let me say this. I don't know if you're as tired of hearing the thing that I'm getting ready to say as I am of being the person who says it. But mainstream media, corporate media, moderate, placating media is selling us all out. They are hell-bent on acquitting Donald Trump of charges of abusing children and women before they're actually even leveled against him formally. I have two clips, both from CNN today. I have my criticism of all kinds of media. I will continue to do so. I will point the finger where it needs to be pointed, where it is deserved. And today is no different. In fact, today I'm going to be criticizing someone that I have respect for, John Berman. But let's start with this. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. We've all seen the evidence related to Donald Trump's almost 2-decade-long best friendship with notorious child abuser, child rapist, Jeffrey Epstein. We've seen the letter, the birthday card of the here's to another year of wonderful secrets and enigmas never age, Jeffrey. We have a lot in common, Jeffrey. We've all seen this. We've seen the signature that they now deny is not the signature. And the media is tripping all over themselves after they've tied themselves into a pretzel to try to cover for Donald Trump, to try to, at the beginning of interviews, to say, well, there's no evidence that Donald Trump did anything wrong. Just conduct the interview. You don't have to do a cross-examination of the witness. You don't have to put on a defense of Donald Trump. That's not your job, CNN. It is not your job, Washington Post. Get a load of this post on Blue Sky and look at this headline down here from Washington Post. No clear answers on whether Trump signed the Epstein birthday book. Is there no clear answers? In the next video I'm going to be doing, I'll be showing this. All these exact duplicate signatures from over the years of Donald Trump's name. What do you mean there's no clear answers? I guess unless Donald Trump admits it, we have no way of knowing whether he's involved, whether that was him. I guess somehow a forgery took place and someone worked their way into Donald Trump's best friend's birthday book. And then that ended up on the record in his personal files. What? Yeah, makes total sense, Washington Post. Breonna Keeler. Actually, let's start with John Berman. This is actually a more egregious example of it, where John Berman starts the interview with Representative Dave Min of my former congressional district in California. And he says, there's no reason to think, this is what John Berman says, there's no reason to think that Donald Trump is involved in any wrongdoing with Jeffrey Epstein. And listen, to Dave Min's credit, he stops that. There was no question. But he said, John Berman goes to move on and goes, no, wait, whoa. Let's back up here, brother. There's absolutely reason to think that there's wrongdoing on the part of Donald Trump related to Jeffrey Epstein. Beautiful moment from Representative Dave Min of California.
Again, I do want to say we have no reason to think that he was in any way involved with that check itself. Also, no reason to think he's detected any wrongdoing involving Jeffrey Epstein. You noted, you're a prosecutor, you're a lawyer here, there's this defamation.
I would say we have lots of reasons to think he was involved in wrongdoing. I mean, at this point, there's a lot of smoke. There may be some fire, but I would just push back and say I think there's a lot of reason to think Donald Trump was involved.
Involved with what? I'm sorry, what exactly, what proof do you have that he was involved with wrongdoing in regards to Jeffrey Epstein? And if that's the case, why have there been no prosecutions over 20 years here? Because there haven't really been any allegations that he was involved with wrongdoing.
There are a lot of connections where Donald Trump was named, right? We had a 14-year-old claiming that she was raped by him, then withdrew that claim after she was apparently threatened. His name appears a lot, and again, we at this point, our job is to find justice for these survivors, and that means that we need to continue digging, knowing that there is a cover-up taking place right now. And I didn't say that we have proof. At this point, we have a lot of smoke. But Donald Trump's name is clearly mentioned multiple times. We've seen him lie over and over about things that we now know to be true. So again, I think that we, as the Oversight Committee, we owe an obligation to the girls, the American people out there, to keep digging and find out the truth, whoever's involved.
Again, Donald Trump has not been named in any connection or charged with any wrongdoing there. Ghislaine Maxwell, take this for what it is, but Ghislaine Maxwell said, she never saw Donald Trump or anyone, for that matter, engaged in any wrongdoing connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Dave Midd, Congressman from California.
I will just point out that Ghislaine Maxwell was indicted for perjury after she made that statement that you mentioned, transferred to minimum security prison in Texas. So, again.
Look, Speaker Johnson sat right here and told me he doesn't really believe anything Ghislaine Maxwell says. I was merely stating what was in that transcript, but there are plenty of people on both sides of the aisle who don't put much weight in it. Congressman Dave Midd, thanks so much.
Those two comments linked together from John Berman are not just perplexing. They're not just damaging. They are an abdication of his role as a member of the free and fair, constitutionally protected free press. I don't know how many times I've talked about that. The only occupation that is listed as protected in the Constitution of the United States of America is the free and fair press. You are offered that. You are protected under this sacred document, John, and this is what you bring. This is the rigor with which you do your job, sir. There's no reason to think that Donald Trump is involved in any wrongdoing with Jeffrey Epstein. And then I would say we have a lot of reasons to think he's involved in wrongdoing. Involved with what? What proof do you have? The media will lead us to our demise. They will lead us walking off the plank as American democracy burns for the fact that they want to be even-handed. We gotta, both sides. There is no both sides to this. Donald Trump is a perv with a history of disgusting, abhorrent, immoral, abusive behavior over decades. You're not best friends with a notorious, convicted pedophile, child trafficker, and you're a good and decent person. It's just, that's not how things work. So maybe think about that, John. Really, seriously, I'm not just saying it to score a point here in the video. John Berman's a guy who I think does good work on CNN. He is a good journalist. He asks hard questions. I haven't seen any evidence otherwise until today, or I haven't remembered any evidence until today. But I believe this is an editorial decision on the part of CNN because Breonna Keeler, she's got all kinds of problems. I bitched about her for a long time. Notably when Joe Biden did the Philadelphia speech and he had Marines behind him and she's like, he's misusing the military. But now it's crickets as Donald Trump uses the military as a police force in the United States. So great. We appreciate that. But I think this is absolutely an editorial decision on the part of the corporation because Breonna Keeler did the same exact thing yesterday where she started the interview. She starts it saying, we've seen no sign of wrongdoing on Donald Trump's part, almost verbatim to what John Berman said.
We should note, it's important too, we've seen no sign of wrongdoing on Trump's part.
We've seen no wrongdoing on the part of Donald, no sign of wrongdoing? What are you doing, Breonna Keeler? Do you really believe that, or are you just doing what the bosses are telling you to do? And in either way, there's no excuse for it because you're selling out American democracy. Your job is of no importance relative to the continuation of this nation. Full stop. Big, fat period at the end of that sentence. The interview did continue with Representative Greg Casar. Here's a little brief snippet from it.
What's your reaction then when you hear the White House press secretary, as you released that, a signature that does bear resemblance to his signature, and she said, as I have said all along, it's very clear President Trump did not draw this picture and he did not sign it. President Trump's legal team will continue to aggressively pursue litigation.
Well, look, when Donald Trump said first this didn't exist, and then we found it, and now he's saying he didn't sign it, his signature just looks just like his own signature. It's like the bank robber who's caught with a bag full of cash and says, I'm not the one who robbed the bank. I mean, everyday Americans just aren't going to keep on buying these sorts of excuses, and we're going to keep investigating this case, not just to have transparency around the president, but transparency around any powerful person in this country who turned a blind eye or was complicit in these horrible crimes, because we know that there are other women that are being trafficked and abused in this sort of way in this country right now. And we need to make sure that we're standing up for all survivors, these survivors and all other survivors in the country right now. And a president or a powerful politician saying nothing to see here, that's a sign that you've got to go look where they're telling you there's nothing to see here.
Congressman Greg Casar, thank you.
So look, I don't know. It's frustrating. It's perplexing. I don't understand it. I would love for someone smarter than me to tell me what in the hell is going on here. I would invite you to this conversation to illuminate me and my little brain about what in the hell the motive is here. What's the upside for the media to be behaving like this? You can comment below this video wherever you're watching it. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. Thanks for your engagement on my content. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We do many videos a day covering all what I think are very important topics. We focus on the continuation of this country, fighting fascism, justice, all the things Superman stands for, right? Anyway, I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.